with so many niche fragrances out there and new ones coming out all the time, it's really hard to find a place to start and to find ones that you know would be kind of a safe spot for beginners. I know when I was new to niche fragrances, it was a whirlwind. I felt like I was going down a hill in rollerblades without any brakes. I'm like, I don't know where to even start. So I've had a few requests from you guys to put together a list of beginner-friendly niche fragrances, and I have a bunch here. I couldn't do 10. I think for me, naturally, I look at my collection and the thoughts just flow on their own. So looks like 17 is a safe number. I did 17 in the last video I just filmed, so 17 just seems to be a happy number for me. So we've got 17. I kind of broke them down into categories. I like to wing it and just go with what feels right in the moment. So we have some freshies. We have some like sexy evening, like attractive scents, a little bit of gourmand vibe, vanillas, and powdery, like kind of elegant, simplistic, nice powdery scents. So we're gonna start with the freshies. I have 4 freshies here. I didn't introduce myself. My name is Yana. If you're new here, it's The Scented. We do the fragrance thing. Stick around, subscribe. We'll do all the fun fragrance things together. We don't discriminate on fragrances. We do cheap stuff, all kinds of stuff, expensive stuff, and everything in between. So I'm gonna start with JUS Parfums because I love the bottle, and this is Gingerlise. This is a gingery, kind of citrusy scent, and don't be put off by that because it does not smell like a cleaning product. It doesn't smell weird. It's very uplifting, very safe, refreshing, and makes you feel good. It's very easy to process like mentally when you're new to fragrances. You already know the familiar scents in here. You're going to be able to recognize them, and it feels good to be able to recognize the scents when you start smelling niche stuff, because like I didn't know any of the notes when I started. Well, I kind of knew because I knew aromatherapy and like essential oils, but I didn't know a lot of them, and you kind of learn as you go, and then you start recognizing them in other fragrances. And here you already know ginger. Everybody pretty much knows ginger. Citrus, you already know. It's a little bit minty as well. This is so great for the heat. This is a fragrance that I reach for when I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. I find that ginger combo is like really, really uplifting, and I just love the scent. Another one that I've loved for years and years, this one actually was one of my entry into niche fragrances, and it's Flur de Bamboo from Perfume. It's a watery, kind of sweet aquatic scent, if that makes sense. Not salty aquatic. It smells very, very fresh. You can smell lotus in here. Lotus flower gives things a very airy, almost shampoo-y quality, and it almost smells like bananas, the type of sweetness that's in here. It is so beautiful. It is so fresh. I never get tired of this scent. I love it so, so much. I picked this up at Raffinat Perfumery, and that actually segued into a really great business relationship with that boutique. So this fragrance, I do believe they still carry, and at the time that I had bought it, I think it was like 80 or 90 euro, and I had initially smelt it at, I think, Saks, but then I couldn't buy it online, and like I only like to shop online. So anyway, that's a story for a different day. And then we have Byos Blanc. A lot of you guys might think this is a bit controversial, but there's a place for this in my collection always, and I would argue that there's a place in everyone's collection for the scent because A, it layers on top of any fragrance that you had been wearing perfectly. It smells like fresh laundry. It smells like when you walk by someone's house and you catch whiffs of like a beautiful laundry detergent, an upscale, good quality laundry detergent. Now I smell a little bit of like peony in here too. It just smells so clean. It's so easy. It's just like, imagine you're done with the gym and you don't have time for a shower. You spritz this on and you immediately feel and smell so fresh. Very hard to overspray the scent as well. And it's, again, it's one of those scents that it's not complex. It's not overpowering. There's nothing really edgy in here. It's something that you will like, and I find this lasts all day. I could smell this all day on myself. I could smell this all day on my man. And it leaves a really nice trail. It's just fresh, clean, simple, very, very likable. Then we have Nishane Wulong Cha. This has become my favorite tea scent. It's a very easy citrus tea, like a really deep steeped like green tea. Like you really steeped it in there. You could really like smell it. And then you put some like lemon slices in that tea. This is like If you remember or ever liked Elizabeth Arden's green tea, I think. It's a weird comparison, but it's familiar territory. And then you just elevated it, and now it's just like a super bougie, really high quality, distinguished scent. This is kind of like that. I really feel bad making that comparison because it like doesn't smell cheap at all. It smells actually very, very rich and high quality, but I'm just trying to give you something familiar to compare it to. And now let's go to like our sexy, flirty type of scents. So I'm gonna start with M.Micallef Glamour. And Glamour is basically the definition of this bottle. This smells like Alien. So if you like Alien, that ambery, woody, rich, warm jasmine scent, this is that on a whole different level, multifaceted and more complex, but still kind of familiar territory. This smells like the old formulation of Alien before L'Oreal broke it. It smells very, very good. Very sexy, and it lasts all day. There's a little bit more fruitiness in the opening, so there's like green apple in here that you can smell just in the first spritz, and then it really develops into that familiar Alien times 100. It's very, very good quality. So I do love Micallef for that. I will make sure that all of my codes are linked in the description because at this point, I work with so many boutiques and I usually can hook you guys up with discounts somewhere. And yes, I do sometimes get commission off of that, but not always. Goutal, Tenue de Soirée. This one smells kind of like Gucci Rush combined with Gris Dior. If you've ever smelled also Bottega Veneta, it's like a little bit more dry, like Gucci Rush is a very flirty, bold, loud, like in your face type of scent, which I love. But this is the demure, quiet, elegant sister of that fragrance. I always recommend this fragrance to anybody who has like shown me even a little bit of sign that they like something like a little bit more flirtatious, but that wants something that's workplace safe, that's like appropriate for daily wear. This is the fragrance that I always recommend. And I don't think I've ever steered anyone wrong so far. Everyone comes back to me saying how much they love it and are so happy with it. It is one of the best ones of the pom-poms. I also really like Nuee Confidence. That's a really great vanilla scent to start with. It's coming up. And I'm gonna throw Nest Indigo at you guys. I don't know if this would qualify fully as niche. It's available at Sephora. I don't know where we're drawing the line here, but Nest is a brand that mainly focuses on fragrance. And I smelled this and immediately fell in love with it. It's like a spicy, warm fig and tea scent. This is better than every fragrance that I've heard it be compared to, including Wilhelm's Dear Polly, which is like exponentially more expensive. It's very, very good. It's like, I don't know that I would call it flirty per se, but it is a little bit like more edgy, and it's got a little bit of like a wink to it, you know? There's something like cheeky about it. It's got a little prickle, like it smells like literally like there's like a little bit of a prickliness in there. Very intriguing, very good. Also in the dry down reminds me a little bit of something that's in Mon Guerlain. There's something similar in here. So again, like sort of familiar fragrance territory. We're not going anywhere dangerous. And then we have Ormonde Jayne Levant. This smells a lot like a very, very popular fragrance, Fleur Narcotique from Ex Nihilo, which I recently learned is known to be Hailey Bieber's scent. So anyway, this is a little bit more appropriate for daily wear. I like this actually more. And this fragrance, basically, it's like Fleur Narcotique, but with more neroli and orangey facets. So it's a lot more brighter, it's more uplifting, and it's very, very appropriate for like an easy daily wear type of scent that is also flirty. So if you're like kind of always leaning sexy a little bit, this would be perfect for you because it does have that flirtatiousness about it, and it will turn heads. Like you will catch attention with the scent, but not because it's loud and you're just like, you just smell a lot. It's a very intriguing, airy, playful scent. I always get complimented on this one. I've gone through probably 4 or 5 bottles at this point, not because of myself, but because it is so incredibly popular on my decant shop, TheScentedOrs, where you guys can actually sample any of these fragrances and hundreds more. So that will be available there. And then another one from Ormonde Jayne that I love as we're going into our gourmand territory is called Babylonia. This is a powdery scent with blackcurrant. It's vanillic, it's delicious. It's also, it could be very appropriate for a date night as well. But because it's vanilla heavy, I put it in my vanilla pile. And I'm not a vanilla lover, but this fragrance for me, first of all, is super safe, nice and sweet, but a little bit offset with like a tanginess from blackcurrant. Nice and powdery and undeniably vanillic. So I think if you're a vanilla lover, you will absolutely love this. I think it's a great starting point. It's a very easy fragrance, and I think it would make a great date night scent. And I'm gonna go with one that's really bold, but I think a beginner could like this easily, and this is Italica from Xerjoff. This to me smells like almond syrup. It smells like legitimately like marzipan and milky, like if you just had like marzipan with a big cup of milk, but like the 3.25 milk, not the 1%. It's very warm, and it almost smells like there's traces of cherry in here as well. There's also a note of saffron, but it's incredibly mild. And this is a very, very gourmand fragrance. Like this is one that really smells like dessert. But even for me as somebody who doesn't typically enjoy those scents, I really like it. And then we have Atelier des Ors Pink Me Up. This has been a huge hit since it came out, and I think this is the most beginner friendly but interesting of their whole lineup. So they have a lot of safe scents that are kind of like citrusy, but I don't know if it's worth the big bucks. This one, it's blackberry, like very sweet, fruity blackberry with champagne. And in the opening, I get a little bit of a powdery, almost like a lipsticky vibe in the opening. But that goes away, and then it's really about like rose, champagne, blackberries. This would be the perfect scent for like a New Year's party or a Christmas party, like something fun and lively, and like it's an event scent in my opinion, because it is so like, well, it's so flirty and fruity and fun. And here's a new one that you guys probably haven't heard of, and this is from Experimental Perfume Club, and it's called Cardamom Moss. This is also quite gourmand-like. It's like a really sweet cardamom seed, like a cardamom pod. It's very caramelly as well. There's caramel in here. And the moss is, I wouldn't be put off by the moss. It's hardly there. It smells not super complex, and it's very easy for layering. In fact, you could probably layer this on top of anything and it would smell amazing. And it's super fun to play with, and I think it's one of the ones to add to just experiment with layering and playing with different combinations, especially if you like a little bit of a spiciness and that like smooth, almost like milky, sweet quality of cardamom. I think this is such a nice, satisfying scent. It's really, really good. It's great for men's fragrances too. Like it just would give it a little bit of that extra like intrigue. So on its own, it's beautiful, but I mean, I really like layering this and putting this on basically everything. Okay, now we step into our vanillas. And this has been with me for years and years and years, and this was one of my stepping stones into niche as well, and it's Diptyque's Eau Duel. I do prefer the EDT, which this is. And this basically I always describe as like you're walking through a pine forest and you're eating like a soft serve vanilla ice cream. It has this distinct quality of like being almost like in a pine forest, but the vanilla is so smooth and it softens it out, and it's like there's plushy white snow around you, and it's just like a fairy tale. I really, really love this. This is one of the best vanillas of all time. It's spicy enough, it's creamy enough, and it's woody enough that it just creates the perfect balance. And then we have Nuee et Confidence from Goutal. I have to hold this little dingle dangle because it goes everywhere and it makes a lot of noise. This is an incense and vanilla scent, and it has black pepper as well. I really like a vanilla and black pepper combo, and I think it's very safe and it's very elegant. It is not overcomplicated. It's easy to figure out the scent. It's one of those like easy daily wear grab and goes, especially if you love vanilla. And even if you don't, I think you would still enjoy this. If you've ever been to Great Wolf Lodge, at least the one in Niagara, the lobby smells a lot like this. So if you're trying to figure out what it smells like and you've ever been there, like that's kind of the vibe. I was surprised when I was there recently and smelled literally this wafting through the air. It was crazy. It's beautiful. It's like to me, a very elegant kind of like mood setting lighting, like very low ambient lighting. You're like somewhere just in a nice restaurant having quiet dinner, like overlooking the cityscape and the water. I think this would be the perfect type of scent for that. I like these simplistic, elegant scents, and most of the fragrances that I have in niche, the ones that I personally wear a lot, are pretty simplistic and just kind of, yeah, simple elegance is my vibe. And then the occasional loud fragrance, of course, you have to like leave room for, you know, you go through your moods. And I guess this one would be kind of a louder one. And this is Psychedelic Love from Inicio. This is my favorite type of like resinous warm vanilla. This is a very ambery warm, like it almost smells boozy. This would be a very seductive, warm type of scent. I would imagine this like near a fireplace, like a very intimate vibe. So nice. Maybe like in a chalet somewhere, you know, I'm just setting the mood for you. And the notes in here are vanilla, myrrh, there's hedione, which smells a lot like jasmine. And it's just, it is so satisfying to smell this fragrance. It's delicious. It's like, it's plushy. It's like a little bit powdery, and it is very, very warm. Like it almost makes you feel warmer when you wear this. It is one of the easiest ones, I think. In fact, most of the Inicio fragrances that I've smelled, like I think would be relatively beginner friendly, but this one has really great performance, and I think that the value is there. You can get this for 20% off at So Avant-Garde with my code YANA20, and I'll make sure that all my codes are in the description. And then we go into our powdery goodies. So this is a really underrated, lesser known fragrance, but I wear a lot of it, as you can see, because this is actually mostly my dent. And this is called Nuee Bleue from Maison Violette. This one smells a lot like Prada's Infusion Iris, but a little bit more fancy. So the price points at this point are very similar. This is not even that much more expensive, but it smells more high quality. It is very long lasting, and this is one of my most complimented fragrances from my man. Whenever I wear this, something about this type of powdery iris, it just like does something for him. And it's like a very clean, feminine, soft iris scent, but he really, really loves it. So I think this would be great if you're looking for like a nice, easy powdery scent, especially if you're already familiar with Prada's Infusion Iris. And then we have Carner Barcelona Tardes. Tardes is an almondy scent. This is a lotion-like almondy scent, one of the easiest almondy scents that I think are out there. It's so soft and just like comfy, and this is a fragrance that I like to wear like in the evening as well. A lot of my powdery scents I like to go for in the evening. As the name would suggest, it's very appropriate for the evening. It's just a wind down, like cozy, soft lotion scent that almost feels like you're not wearing much at all. Like it's non-intrusive, and yet it's so intriguing. And of course I needed to include a sandalwood scent. There's a lot of sandalwood lovers out there. I think the best sandalwood fragrance that I have smelled to this day is Piano Santel from L'Orchestre Parfum. This is a buttery sandalwood. It literally to me smells like melted butter. And there's a skin note in here that just smells like soft skin. It's an aroma chemical. It's not obviously real skin. But it almost smells like it could be almost a skin scent. It's milky and buttery and soft, very plush, and it doesn't have any of that like dill quality that sandalwood sometimes has. I find this one very, very soft. Except for really hot summer days, this would be a year-round type of fragrance, but I think very, very beginner safe. Of all sandalwood fragrances, probably the most beginner safe and the most interesting. So I hope you guys managed to kind of stick with me through all of these 17. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think is a safe beginner niche fragrance, so everybody can kind of congregate in the comments and we can all learn something. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.